and welcome everybody. I'm Ari Lax, and this week I'm going to be playing a little bit of Standard with something just a little bit off of the norm. So, Green White Tokens is very clearly at this point the deck to beat, probably a definitive best deck in the format. And this list is a spin on it to try and do a few things that give it a few extra edges. This list was designed by Tyler Hill, a player who has a Pro Tour Top 16 to his name. He's part of the Ann Arbor, Michigan testing crew, which also includes Brian DeMars, current reigning SCG Invitational champion Max McVitie. I want to say three or I don't know if he has two or three lifetime Grand Prix top eights. Andrew Ellenbogen, who recently top eighted uh, Grand Prix Milwaukee or mini Grand Prix Minneapolis with the Bant Displacer Humans deck that again the Ann Arbor team designed. Um, and also this group includes Kyle Bogmus, who's a former Pro Tour finalist who just finished ninth at Pro Tour Dragons of Tarkir about a year ago. So it's a pretty solid group of players. Unsurprising, that's the region I'm from. Michigan has always had a long history of strong Magic players coming from it. Michael Jacob, Patrick Chapin, myself, and these guys are no slouches either. So Tyler's goal here is he really liked Dragon Lord of Tarka in the format. And so adding that to green white gives you like a pretty solid trump. You can also get it via Nahiri the Harbinger. And then adding red also gives you access to Battlefield Forge, which I've mentioned a lot in this format. The enemy colored pain lands are basically tri-lands in your Eldrazi formats. So you get to play Eldrazi Displacer, which I think Ross Merriam in his article this week pointed out that that's like one of the cards that lets other decks stand up to green white on raw power level alone because it has so much utility in how it affects the game. And this is just green white with the same thing, and you have a lot of really powerful interactions with this card. Even just getting extra lands with Nisa. You have the Archangel Avacyn interaction where you get to give your things indestructible repeatedly, and also respond to the transformation trigger on Archangel Avacyn, the 3 damage trigger, by flickering it back and giving your stuff indestructible. Flickering Linvala or Atarka is just game over. Pretty awesome that you can flicker after an Nahiri activation so that the creature remains on the battlefield. Just a lot of great stuff. Same Gideon beatdown, Oath of Nisa stuff going on as green white. Same Dramoka's commands. You're trimming on Nisa Voice of Zendikar, and going up on Nisa Vastwood Seer to build to your higher drops. And that's fine because Nisa Voice of Zendikar is a card that Jerry Thompson was boarding out a lot, so it is conditional in what it does. You still want some number of them to have this threatening plan. A little bit less Hangerback Walker, which does make your Archangel Avacyns a little worse because you have less of the Mondo combo of Hangerback into Avacyn. Also, the lack of Evolutionary Leap, is part of definitely a big shift in the deck, in the main deck at least. And it makes your Archangels a little bit worse, but your overall card power is still very high. Lambholt Pacifist, just another low drop. You need to be with your slightly worse mana. You have more enters the battlefield tap lands, more pain lands. You need to be a little more proactive at defending your life total with cards like Lambholt Pacifist. Another big upside is you actually have a creature land for Needle Spires, or of Needle Spires for your Sylvan Advocates. So you're actually getting more out of this card than just 2 mana 4/5, which is crazy awesome. And the mana's pretty stock. You only have 6 colorless sources, but you have Oath of Nisa to find them if you need it. And that's why there's only 2 Displacers. Same kind of heavy green-white mana you'd expect out of green-white, a couple Abbeys, and then the red lands. Moving to the sideboard, you have another Needle Spires to bring in whenever you bring in Radiant Flames, which is another big boon of being red. You have a cheap sweeper against the white aggressive decks, so you don't get punked out Tom Ross style. You board in these anti-control cards, another Hangerback, more Evo Leaps, Den Protectors. When you need to go down that road, you've got some Tragic Arrogances as these breakers against rights decks, things like that. Another Dragon Lord Atarka and Dramoka as big trumps. Dramoka's, got a lot of good things going for it. Lifelink can't be countered. It really beats both ends of the spectrums. And then some Declaration Stones to wrap up your removal suite. Um, so really, I think this deck it offers a lot of additional power on top of the green white token shell, which is crazy considering how good green white tokens is. And my only question is whether the decreased consistency of your like best aggressive draws due to being less likely to curve into Nisa Gideon or even just cast Nisa on turn 3 is really going to be punishing. So that's what I'm trying to find out tonight, is whether the mana is a significant cost or whether you can get away with a little bit more than the current green-white decks are doing.